Hello and welcome to the Blue Pencil Sessions. This is where we at the Creative Academy take a look at some of your pages and offer you our feedback. I'm Eileen Cook and I'm here today with my colleague, Crystal, and we are taking a look at a fantasy novel, Griffin, by Marie Powell. So I just going to say off the top, this is a really sharp opening couple of pages. What you're going to see is, I thought, in particular, that we just drop right into the story. And I think that's one of the things that so many people struggle with. And it would have been very easy for Marie to sort of set up like they were on a trip and here's where they were going and here's the purpose of the trip and this is what's happening. But she doesn't do that. We basically are plunked right into this story of these characters walking up this kind of hazardous mountain pass. And if that's not bad enough, they're being chased by English mercenaries. That never helps. Crystal, your thoughts?
Yeah, agreed. I loved this just being parachuted right into the time, and the fantasy setting is very cleverly communicated with the choice of names and words and everything else, and so you're right in there. It's really clean and it reads really smoothly. The only time that I stumbled at all was in the section where then hands gripped my foot, my leg. I felt myself jerked back, fighting to keep my grip on Nesta. It's just a tense thing. So you fought to keep your grip on Nesta. So I felt myself jerked back and fought to keep my grip on Nesta. It just was a weird juxtaposition of everything else being past, and then that was sort of an instant shift to present. So that was the only like teeny little thing that jumped out for me.
The one bump that I had is earlier when actually things happen, and it's probably me, I will say that, although I think there's some things to go on. There is a line where she says, Kat, Nesta, Browen's younger sister, balanced on one foot, arms akimbo, a look of surprise on her face. So I think two things that threw me is when I first read that line, I didn't actually realize that she was falling. I thought that for some reason she was balancing on one foot, kind of like in the crane position, for reasons that weren't clear to me for a second. And I think part of what may have added to that is there's three names right in a row: Kat, Nesta, Brown. And so for a second, I think I was just trying to go back and forth, which is there are a lot of characters in these opening pages. A lot of people to keep track of. And so I just want to highlight, you might want to think about, do we need to know all of these characters right off the bat? The other thing I want to highlight just for other people, because I think it is well done, is this was a really good example of using all of the tools in your writer's kit. So there's internal thought, there's action, there's dialogue, there's description. All of that is happening and it's just being woven together. So for me as a reader, I feel fully immersed in the scene. I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it, I'm watching this action play out, and I'm intrigued by it. And that all comes together. So whenever you can kind of weave those things together versus block of description, dialogue, 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 another block of description, it just really adds to a piece. And part of that is this person almost falls and there's a line just broken out all by itself. I hadn't foreseen this. And for me, that just added some very interesting intrigue, because it's clear to me she thinks she should have foreseen it, which tells me all kinds of things about her having some psychic powers and some things going on, and that she's worried that it's not working. So that for certain pulled me in. Anything that stuck out for you, Crystal, that pulled you in particular?
I really liked the way you were doing the relationship between Reese, I think is how you say it, or Rice, and the main character. So you did a really good job of kind of very subtly communicating, like there's clearly something between these two, but it's not necessarily totally out in the open, which introduces some potential for some good conflicting character development. And I really like that your heroine appears very active, and she sort of at one point like gives the guy a good shove and then grabs him and it's like, now who's needing saving, you know? And so that just seemed really a fun way to communicate some of her personality. And I really liked the way that was sort of blended in, that it is this high stress, dangerous situation, but at the same time, she's still got a sense of humor, and she's clearly got a fair bit of pluck to her because she's a pretty feisty little one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading more of this. I think it's ready to go.
I think we're all looking forward to more. So if anyone else, if you'd like us to take a look at your pages, then please submit them to the Blue Pencil session. And until then, we'll see you around the Academy. Take care, everyone.